to the release of the Americans currently being held in Iran, to criminal justice reform. Joining me now, Republican presidential candidate Senator Rand Paul, author of the new book, Taking a Stand, Moving Beyond Partisan Politics to Unite America. Great topic of your book, Senator, for what we're just discussing right now. Now, it's very interesting because the president, in an interview right before this press conference, said this: it'll be interesting to see what somebody like a Rand Paul has to say about this. Because in the past, you've broken from GOP ranks and actually said that you might agree to negotiate with Iran. What do you think about this deal then?
You know, I continue to think that negotiations are better than war. But if I were negotiating, I think what we need is negotiations from a position of strength. And I don't think that releasing sanctions simultaneous to the beginning of the process is a good idea. So I think had we been negotiating to allow sanctions to be released in a very gradual fashion after we were seeing significant compliance, that might have been a deal that could have been acceptable. But the Iranians have a long way to go to prove to us that they are going to really, with this agreement, that they will actually be verifiable in their actions.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of questions about their actions. One of the things that the president said today was that the deal is not contingent on Iran changing its behavior. So how do you feel about that?
Well, that's one reason why you should delay release of sanctions until you do see good behavior. I think we've also left in place a significant nuclear capacity with 5,000 centrifuges that I think goes beyond what you would need for a peaceful program. And so that, along with the administration admitting that Iran will still be involved in proxy wars, will still be involved with terrorism, I find it hard to believe that that's really showing. I think if you're going to have an agreement with the Iranians, we need to show that they are going to significantly be changing their behavior. And the fact that he's acknowledging that they may not change any behavior, I think is worrisome. The other part of the agreement that I think is going to be something that is also very worrisome is that we're going to be allowing the sale of advanced weaponry to the Iranians, including perhaps ballistic missiles.
Right.
Now, there is a certain period of delay, but it still concerns me that you would be doing that with a country that has not really shown a change in their sincerity or their credibility.
So it sounds, Senator, like you're a no on this vote.
Yes.
Okay. I want to also bring to your attention, because you probably heard it, there was another shout out to you today by President Obama with regard to the criminal nonviolent drug offenders, where he's going right now to release some of those. I believe it's 46 that he's granted a pardon to. Do you agree with him on that?
Yeah, and this is an area of agreement between right and left, conservatives and liberals, that we've put some people in jail for too long for nonviolent crimes. We have some people serving life sentences for nonviolent crimes. We have many people serving more than a decade. And one of the big disparities over the last years, and we've fixed it a little bit, but we still have people in prison for, is the crack cocaine, powder cocaine disparity. Many more black individuals end up using crack cocaine, and we punished it 100 times more than we did powder cocaine. So even for the same weight of drugs, often a white kid was getting 6 months or probation, but a black kid was getting a 10 or 15-year sentence. The president's correcting some of that by commutation of sentences, which means he's saying they have served their time. He's not saying they were innocent.
Right.
This is something I do agree with, and I think he's doing the right thing here.
Talk about reaching out to minorities specifically in your book as well. Senator Rand Paul, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gretchen.
Okay.